Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Lunch and Learn series. I'm Helen Panos, Dynamis Learning, a K through 12 tutoring, SAT, ACT prep company. We do executive functioning as well, college essay writing, and application assistance. I am back here again today. This will be shorter because I'm going to be talking about how do you get your kid in a gifted program in public schools, K through 8. Those are pretty much the grade levels that you can do that, so be aware of it. Number one, I am going to have a webinar, a free webinar next Thursday. You can get the replay on that and the link from me. It will be an evergreen webinar. You can then listen to it up to a week, and I will roll that out on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. For those people who sign up to listen to the webinar, that is. So it's going to be all about how do you get into the gifted program in public schools. And really, that all depends on if your child's been tested before and did not get in, didn't qualify, or they've never been tested at all. So there's two different possibilities. So let's talk about the one real quick that has never been tested. So basically, if your child, they need one supporting documentation in order to even look at your child to test them, and that's a qualifier. So let's say you have an achievement test like a MAP test and they scored a 90th percentile in the total reading or math, then they qualify to be looked at and tested for the gifted program. Then they would give them a mental abilities test, then they will give them a creativity test, and then they do a motivation piece. So there's those four areas: achievement, mental abilities, creativity, and motivation. 3 out of those 4 have to be met for your child to be in the gifted program. I will go into more detail about that in my free webinar on Thursday, the 21st at 7:30 p.m. for you. Again, that's going to be an evergreen type. It's going to be sent out to people who sign up, and that will be recorded. I'll keep it short. And if you have any questions and answers after you listen to that, then you can send those to me on email. I'll have a calendar link for you to actually contact me or an email, and then we can set up a time to talk about your child specifically and what's that situation. Because I do get a lot of calls from parents who the child was tested, they didn't get in, and they want to try to get them in. So that's a little more complicated because there is timelines related to that. So under Georgia law, you cannot be given the same test for 2 years. So if they gave their child a COGAT, then they can't give them a COGAT again except for 2 years down the road. But there are other tests that possibly can be used for the mental abilities. And that's something I have experience in, being a gifted lead for 9 years. And I can actually look at your eligibility form and kind of guide you through that. So I'm keeping this very short today because I do have that webinar where I will be going into a lot more detail about how to get in the gifted program. I will be posting that link so that you can sign up to get the link for the webinar on the 21st. Again, you'll be sent, instead of a Zoom link, you'll be sent the webinar link that will get you right into the webinar. And that way you don't have to come on at a specific time at a specific date. That will be rolled out at 7:30 p.m. next Thursday. You will have that availability to listen to that up until a week. And then contact me if you have questions in detail, because every situation is a little different. And I'd have to look at eligibility forms to guide you on what we would do next. I do actually tutor to help kids get in the gifted program. And that means I can come out and work with your child on tests like the COGAT or the Torrance test and kind of guide them on what things, so they know what they're looking for. No one's really been ever coached on a Torrance test, so they wouldn't know much about that at all. And you only see that if you're being tested for gifted programs. Those are not used any other way or in any other means. Achievement tests, yes, those are used all the time. Something like a MAP test in Iowa, Stanford, Georgia milestones, people ask about that. That's a Georgia test. It's not nationally normed. Thus, they can't use it for the data. iReady can be used. But Georgia milestones, they do look at those right now around this time of year. They look at them to see who's hitting that high level. I think it's a level 4. And to see if those kids may not be in the gifted program. And if they are, they would probably test kids that are heading up high in those levels. So it's very important. Now's the time to be looking at test scores, to be looking at what did your children score at Georgia Milestones. Let's look at those together. Figure out what else your child needs to get a stronger test score next year on the milestones, because waiting till March is a little late. Yes, they take them in May, and then we're wondering why we can't get your child's test scores up. It's a little late to try to do that then. So we need to be talking about standardized test scores and how to do well on them early on, like in the fall semester. And I have somebody that's going out today in Alpharetta who's going to do exactly that. We're working on study skills and how to take tests, basically. And we're doing that using the classroom test, not a standardized test. But I do have test questions that are standardized as well. So I want to let you know that, and we can practice with those to help kids as well, along with that kind of thing, to help them strengthen their test-taking skills. So if you are interested in the gifted program K through 8, please sign up for my free webinar that's going to roll out on Thursday, August 21st at 7:30 p.m. You have to sign up so I know you're interested in getting this webinar, which will be pre-recorded. Decided to do that instead of a live. Then we will meet personally to discuss your child's situation and what you're thinking. That's an easier, that I find that's much better than just doing a Zoom call. So that's it for now. Again, I will have that link for the webinar in the comments and in the notes, so you can see it and go ahead and sign up for that. Next week, I believe we're having me again, actually. Yeah, you get me a few times. So the topic, I'm not positive of, actually. It's probably related to critical thinking and creativity, which also aligns itself well with also the gifted program. And then I'm going to have a guest at the end of the month, and he's going to be coming on to talk about parenting and struggles that he sees that parents are having. So the next topic on August 20th will be creativity, the key to a gifted program entry. I'm sorry, I'm having issues with my phone. Things keep changing. I'm getting ads. And then on the 27th, Andy Goldstrom will be with me, Parenting with Purpose, How to Truly Succeed as a Parent. So that's it for now, guys. Again, join our webinar on next Thursday, the 21st of August at 7:30 p.m. You will get the recorded thing about it, and then you can set up a time for me to discuss your personal situation, because those are very individualized. And happy to talk to you about giftedness. They test twice a year. They look at it now, and they test around September, October. Then they do it again. They do the KISS process at that point in time in January. And then they probably would test February to early March for the second semester. All righty. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.